Hi YouTube family, I am back and I am doing a retake of my Be a Woman video. Now, I do want to apologize. I do not apologize for what I said. I will repeat. I do not apologize for what I said. My apology is because of how I did it. Just let me tell you a little bit. I ran into someone, a young lady, who was being disrespected for no reason. The only thing she had done wrong was got involved with a frog. She was involved with a frog. And the part that bothered me the most was not the frog, it was the other woman. That bothered me the most. We always talk about there are no good men. How can there be when we're not good women? We are promoting the behavior. It is never okay to bully and disrespect someone for no reason. It's not okay. That goes for me and that goes for everybody. It is not okay to do it. So if you have been promoting that type of behavior, that frog behavior, ribbit, ribbit, then you need to correct. You will never have a good man if you accept that kind of behavior and you're promoting it. That's the sad part. We always talk about what men do, and that's because we accept it and we promote it. When you allow a man to disrespect another woman, you are wrong. And you showing that you think little of yourself. And to brag about it, it's a low down dirty shame and it is a disgrace. I am not going to disrespect anyone for a frog. I don't want to offend anyone. Whatever I do, I want it to be correct. But when I was, because I think all the time and I see things and I pay attention, I observe things. I want to tell you guys a few stories, but the things that I said, I do stand behind it. I just regret the manner in which I delivered that information. I do. I regret the manner because I was heated and I kept thinking about this young lady and just the look on her face. And I felt so bad for her. And bullies, when people do stuff like that, that's a form of bullying. And it's a form of being a coward. And it's all about the way you feel about yourself. You ugly on the inside. And it just seeped out. That's all, it's just seeping out. But bullies are people who are insecure and unhappy. And they get pleasure in trying to belittle other people. And I did say they are nincompoops because they think, for whatever reason, it makes them look better. And that's nincompoopery. But let me move on. I just want to tell you, there was a time when women were ladies. And I remember it's just about extinct. But women didn't disgrace themselves over men. And I'm talking about my grandmother's generation, because my mom's generation, ooh, they were off the hook. They were all for free love, laying up with everybody. And ooh, it just was a mess. And people got kids, and this is not meant to offend either, and that's your business. Everybody they done had, they got a baby bam. I was like, oh Lord. But I was raised a little different because my grandparents raised me and I saw things done differently as well. And women had class. Women had class, and I respect that. And it's nothing like having some class. Let me give you some examples of a woman with class. Now, my father had several wives, but he had one, Shorty. Her name was Norma, and she passed. But she had class. We would tell my grandmother about her because she was so nice to us, and we were really young when he was married to her. And I remember one day my dad came to pick us up and she was in the car. But anyway, we were happy to go and we jumping all around. Yay, yay, we're getting ready to go. So we ran out to his car because he didn't park in front of the house. He parked down a few houses down. And she was in the car. So we was telling her, come on, come on. And she said no. She would not get out the car. So we went back in the house and we told my grandmother that she was out there because we wanted her to meet her. So my grandmother asked my dad, Well, why didn't she come in? The kids talk about her all the time. And he said, she said she wasn't coming in because she didn't want my mom to think she was disrespecting her. That's class. So, needless to say, my grandmother went out to the car and brought her in the house and hugged her and told her she was so happy to meet her. But that right there, Shorty, we talked about it later, and she said, once I met your grandmother and your mother, she said it made me feel comfortable in knowing I could come and get you guys when I wanted to. And I could also call and talk to you when I wanted to. And I didn't have to go through your father to do it. But she had class, and that's why she handled herself like that. But now, this is how it goes. A woman come with her husband or her man or whoever to pick up the kids. She want to be outside the house making a scene and a spectacle out of herself for no reason, because more than likely that woman hasn't done anything to her, and she does that because she doesn't have any class, and she's encouraging that man not to take care of his children, and she does that because she's miserable and she don't have any class. So whatever we do, we need to have class about ourselves. There are certain things that we need to do as women, and we want a good man, and we are not good women. We're not even decent women, because there are certain things that a woman is going to command, and one is respect. And a woman, a decent woman, is not going to promote frog behavior. Ribbit, ribbit. A decent woman. Because first of all, a decent woman don't want no frog. And if a man is disrespecting another woman, why would you want him? Why would you even want to engage in conversation with them? And like I said, that comes from thinking lowly of yourself and being needy and desperate. So before you offend somebody else, and you never know who's on the edge. Who's on the edge, and instead of you pushing them over, you need to try to help pull them up. And just try not to offend anybody and harm somebody that's not doing anything to you. I have never understood why anybody would want to do something that just evil and wicked. And if you feel that unhappy and wicked on the inside, then you need some professional help, and you need to go and see a psychiatrist. But don't disrespect other women, and teach a man to be a frog. Because perhaps he could have been a man, or maybe he wants to be a man. But it's not a woman to show him or teach him what's required, and he thinks it's okay to treat both of you like you're worth nothing at all. Even in my teens and in my 20s, I recognized what a frog was, and I've never been feeling them. Absolutely never been feeling no frog, doing frog things, ribbit, ribbit. I'm just not feeling them, and I'm going to tell them. And I had to think about something else too. If I was somewhere and ran into one of my exes, he's not coming up to me, like I said, because he knows I'm not feeling him. And he's scared of what I'm going to say to him. He is scared because he knows I'm not feeling him, and I don't want to be bothered with him. And I think lowly of him, because if I did, but anyway, let me get off that. And those things I said, I really did mean, and I just should have delivered them in a different manner. But let's stop trying to tear one another down, because no matter what I do to somebody, it doesn't make me look any better, and I don't look. It just doesn't do anything for me. It just lowers my standards and who I am, and it shows. I don't have any class about myself. That's all it's showing. Have some class, some dignity, some oomph. Because I'm going to tell you, my grandmother generation, those women were divas. They conducted themselves as divas. They looked like divas. They dressed like divas. They were divas. Now everybody talking about their diva, and they're not. To me, diva is an attitude, and it's a class. So thank you all so much for viewing. And please rate, comment, and subscribe. And that other video I will be removing to replace with this one. But whatever you do it with dignity. And you know what? YouTube, for the most part of it, it is a wonderful place. It's so much love, and it is. It's a lot of divas out here showing each other love and support. It is so much. And then you find the people who want to pretend to be divas, and then they want to do something low down and dirty and disgraceful. And I'm not a follower. I'm not a yes ma'am person, because it is what it is. And I'm going to tell you the truth. If it's a disgrace, it is a disgrace. And sometimes I cannot hold my tongue when I see something so ugly and act like it's okay. I just can't do it, because that's just not who I am. And one thing I always wanted to be, and that was even before people were using the word diva, I wanted to be a diva because I wanted to be a class act. It just was important to me for people to see I got some oomph about myself. So thank you all once again so much for viewing. And I also want to send a shout out. And unfortunately, and I've already been talking for 10 minutes, I don't know her name. A young lady that worked with me, but she works in a different building. She works with my sister. She walked up to me the other day and she said, she said, aren't you? And I was thinking, Elaine's sister. I get that all the time. I was like, she said, Miss Roz from YouTube. I was like, in the flesh, girl, yes it is. But thank you so much. I appreciate you recognizing me. It really did make me feel like a celebrity. She said, I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity. And I felt like one. So I do appreciate you coming over to me. And it made my day. And we also called Jennifer, because I said, Black Rose not going to believe this. Wait a minute. You got to talk to her. You got to tell her. So anyway, I want you, because I know what floor you work on, but I did not get your name. So, and I know you watch my upload. So please comment me and give me your name, because I have something for you that I want to give you at work. And I don't quite know how to find you. So thank you guys once again so much. And I'm not going to lower myself. And if I'm angry about something, or and actually I wasn't angry, I was hurt thinking about that young lady being disrespected like that, and then to hear other women brag about doing stuff like that, it really disturbed the core, my core being. It disturbed me so much, and I don't understand why you would want to harm somebody that's not bothering you. She didn't do a thing to nobody. And when these situations, or when situations like that happen, they haven't done anything to you. You just so desperate and needy until you done allowed this frog to let you make a spectacle out of yourself. And you even know he's not worth nothing. You know he's a frog, ribbit. So thank you guys.